Hey there, this is Natalie, and in the Rising of the Shield Hero Season 2 Episode 2, Naofumi first learned that, as well as the legendary weapons, the sword, spear, bow, and of course his shield, this world also has another set of special weapons called the 7-star weapons, each with their own heroes. In this video, I want to explain about what 7-star weapons and vassal weapons actually are, though I'll be sticking to mechanics and lore about them that won't spoil any future plot points or revelations, so it will be safe for anime-only fans who are avoiding spoilers for The Rising of the Shield Hero. I will make another video about this topic in the very near future that goes into spoilers around the 7-star heroes and the vassal weapon holders, so please consider subscribing and look out for that if you're curious to know more. So, in Season 2 Episode 2, the Queen of Melromark talked about the 7-star weapons as being vassals to the 4 holy weapons, and this reminded Naofumi of his encounters with Glass, Lark Berg, and Therese, which we saw in Season 1. This group had claimed to be heroes from another world, and Naofumi had observed while they were levelling up together on the Kalmyra Islands that Lark's scythe worked in a similar way to his shield, absorbing materials from defeated monsters and being able to transform. Lark had also used the term vassal weapons, so it makes sense that Naofumi suspects that the 7-star heroes are this world's counterpart to people like Glass with her fan and Lark with his scythe. He may or may not also think the third person in that group, Therese Alexanderite, who uses jewels to perform magic, is a vassal weapon holder too, but she's actually not. She's Lark's right-hand party member, so in a similar role to Raftalia, and so her skill level is not down to being an official hero or having a special weapon. We can tell this by the fact she uses the accessory that Naofumi makes for her as a weapon, whereas if she had a legendary or vassal weapon like Naofumi's or Lark's, she would have instead copied it and transformed her own weapon into it. This is because the 7-star weapons from the world Naofumi is summoned to and the vassal weapons from Glass's world are indeed the same thing, special weapons that share many of the same traits and features as the 4 heroes' weapons, and which exist to help the heroes' weapons achieve their goals. This means that they can also copy weapons of the same type and can unlock new versions, skills and effects by absorbing materials. They also have some of the same downsides as Naofumi's shield, in that they can't be removed and the user can't use weapons of other types. One downside the vassal and 7-star weapons don't have, however, is the negative effect the 4 heroes have of not being able to gain experience when close to another legendary weapon. This allows vassal weapon holders to form parties together or with legendary weapon holders, without interfering with each other's experience gains. In practice, this means that Glass and Lark would be able to party up and go levelling together perfectly efficiently, whereas Naofumi and, say, Ren would not. As we saw in Season 1, the sword, shield, bow and spear all have different ways that they can be powered up, and when the holders of these weapons learn about each other's power-up methods, they can then apply them to their own weapon too, as long as they believe they will work. This really enables them to become much stronger. The 7-star and vassal weapons also have their own unique ways of powering up, which can also be shared with holders of holy or vassal weapons, allowing each hero even more ways to become stronger if they cooperate and share information with each other. A key difference is that the 4 holy weapons each have 3 of their own active ways to power up, whereas the vassal weapons only have 1 each. There are some other key differences that I would say count as plot spoilers rather than just mechanics, so I won't go into those here, but there's also another important difference that was mentioned in Season 2 Episode 2, and that is in who can hold the weapons. The 4 cardinal, holy, legendary, whatever you want to call them, heroes are all summoned from another world, and as we know from Season 1, if any of them die, they can't be replaced until all 4 heroes are dead. The vassal weapons, on the other hand, can summon people from other worlds to hold them, but they can also choose people they think are suitable from the people native to their own world. And if the owner of a vassal weapon dies, the weapon itself will either hide away or roam around the world until it chooses someone else to be its new user. This means that vassal weapons can be passed on to new users if someone dies, regardless of the status of the rest of the vassal weapon holders. They don't come as a set like the 4 heroes. Vassal weapons can end up having a sword in the stone type quality to them then, where people who want to be heroes, for example students of martial arts schools related to the type of weapon in question, may hope to be chosen by a vassal weapon, and may become competitive or envious as a result. So that's really as much as I can say about the lore and mechanics of the 7-star and vassal weapons without any spoilers. But what does that all mean in terms of the current plotline in the anime? Well, Naofumi now knows that there should be 7 other heroes in his world with special weapons, who could be a big asset in fighting the waves, and in fighting other serious threats like the spirit tortoise. Yet none of them have come forward to work with the heroes since they were summoned. The Queen also believes that the 7-star heroes are currently weaker than the 4 legendary heroes, and considering Naofumi is the only one of the 4 heroes that was recognised as worth fighting by the heroes from another world, he can only assume that if they're weaker than Ren, Itsuki and Motoyasu, they're not going to be of much use without significant training. He can only question who and where these heroes are, and what the reasons might be for them not showing up, or even having been mentioned to him until now. Is it politics? Is it that the 7-star heroes all have difficult personalities and don't want to cooperate? Or is there some other threat that they're tied up in fighting? Nobody, including the Queen, seems to know. Equally, knowing that there are people equivalent to Glass in his world also raises a lot of questions to add to the pile when it comes to the nature of the waves and the role of the heroes when it comes to protecting the world. But what do you guys think about the idea of there being these 7 other heroes in the world Naofumi has been summoned to? Let me know in the comments, though as this is a spoiler-free video, please leave a spoiler warning and some blank space before talking about any spoilers from after the latest episode in the comment section. Thanks as always to my supporters on Patreon and to everyone who helps me out by subscribing to my channel and watching my videos. I will be making plenty more Shield Hero content throughout the rest of Season 2, including videos that go deeper into what happens later in the light novels, as well as more anime-only friendly content like this. So please subscribe if you're a fan of Shield Hero and want to keep up with that content throughout the season. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again very soon.